Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, today we're diving into something that is honestly a bit magical. Just think about it for a second. Without a single spoken word, without any visual images at all, a completely invisible sequence of vibrations traveling through the air can make us cry, it can give us goosebumps, or it can make us feel like we can literally conquer the world. It's a universal language that somehow manages to completely bypass our rational minds and just speak directly to our souls. But why? Because biologically speaking, music is a total mystery. I mean, it doesn't feed us, it doesn't protect us from the freezing cold, and it definitely doesn't help us run away from a predator. From a purely physical standpoint, it offers absolutely no obvious benefit for survival. So, why on earth did our human brains develop this incredible capacity to feel such profound, overwhelming emotions in response to just simple sounds? And that brings us right to this biological paradox. Look at the left side here, our absolute basics: food, safety, shelter, the stuff that keeps us alive. But then, on the right, music, a seemingly useless sequence of vibrations. Why did evolution prioritize this? Well, let's dive into it because the answer is actually hidden in the deepest, oldest roots of our human history. Section 1, an evolutionary paradox. Let's look back in time. Which leads us to Section 2, the echo of our ancestors. This is where survival meets rhythm. Let's actually walk through these ancestral steps. Step 1, picture the savannah at night. The silence wasn't peaceful, it was literally terrifying. Silence meant a predator could be lurking right nearby. Moving to step 2, early humans used rhythmic drumming. Hitting a hollow log or smacking stones together. But this wasn't for entertainment. Rhythm was a proof of presence. It was a way to broadcast to the dark, hey, we're here, we're together, we are alive. And step 3 shows the biological result of that. This rhythmic synchronization triggered a motor response in the body, which released dopamine, our brain's reward molecule. It essentially synchronized the emotions of the entire group, creating this deep, deep sense of cohesion and safety. So music, at its core, was actually a crucial tool for social survival. And this perfectly illustrates how music was basically a language before language even existed. Before we could articulate complex sentences, we communicated through intonation. Notice how the minor chords on the left actually sound like human groans or crying. They trigger empathy and sadness in us because our brains recognize the acoustic signal of vulnerability. On the flip side, the major chords and rising notes mimic excitement, joy, and calling out. When we listen to music, we're not just reacting to arbitrary Hertz frequencies, we're reacting to a highly perfected emotional simulation of the human voice. Section 3, the prediction machine. Let's talk about the modern brain. So, evolutionary biologists often call our brain a prediction machine. Basically, our brains absolutely despise uncertainty. They spend all their time trying to guess what's going to happen next. In the wild, predicting the movement of prey, or a predator, is quite literally a matter of life and death. And interestingly enough, your brain treats listening to a melody exactly the same way it treats tracking an animal in the woods. And here's where it gets really fun. This is how composers play with our biological wiring. I like to call it the brain's musical 1-2 punch. When you listen to a song, your brain is constantly anticipating the next note. If the note arrives exactly as expected, boom, you get a hit of dopamine, pure satisfaction. But if the music surprises you with an unexpected chord change, it creates psychological tension. Your brain goes on high alert. Then, when the melody eventually resolves and returns to normal, it provides this massive physiological release. And that release of tension, that is exactly what we perceive as beauty. It's this search for predictability mixed with a deliberate spark of unpredictability that creates aesthetic pleasure. Moving on to Section 4, music and the animal world. Let's look beyond just us humans. Now, what's genuinely fascinating on this slide is the data we're getting from the animal kingdom. Look at the birds. Studies show that when certain birds hear pleasant harmonies, the exact same pleasure centers light up in their brains as they do in ours. And the whales? No way. They're not just making random noise, they sing incredibly complex compositions. These whale songs actually evolve over the years, spreading across the oceans almost like international pop hits. It's wild. And it suggests something really profound. Music might not be a human invention at all. It might just be a fundamental characteristic of all conscious life on Earth. Section 5, Extreme Emotions, Getting into the Sublime. Okay, have you ever felt that sudden, crazy chill run down your spine right during a huge musical crescendo? Your hairs stand up, your pupils dilate. This is an actual, documented physiological reaction known scientifically as frisson, or sometimes it's called a skin orgasm. Evolutionarily speaking, this is a fear response. It's the exact same bodily reaction you'd have if a predator jumped out of the bushes at you. But music performs this kind of magic trick, right? It takes that ancient biological fear and transforms it into awe. It gives us a taste of the sublime, making us feel incredibly tiny, yet somehow connected to something vastly larger than ourselves. But it goes way beyond just awe. It touches our deepest sorrows, too. As it says here, music gives structure to pain. Neurologically, our auditory systems are located right next door to our brain's memory centers. Because they're so close, a simple song acts like a literal time machine. Hearing just 3 seconds of an old track can instantly transport you decades into the past, perfectly preserving the exact emotions you felt back then. Music is, for sure, the ultimate guardian of our emotional history. Which brings us to the whole paradox of sad music. Like, if you're heartbroken, you'd think a depressing song would just make it worse. But actually, no. As this beautifully simple quote puts it, sad music acts as an imaginary friend. It literally breaks our loneliness. When you hear a singer just pouring their heart out, it gives you this overwhelming sense that someone, somewhere, has felt exactly the same pain you're feeling right now. It's a direct, unfiltered bridge between two consciousnesses, completely bypassing all the clumsy filters of spoken language. So let's pull all of this back to a cosmic perspective and see how it builds together. From the beating of your heart right this second to the orbit of the planets, everything in the universe is rhythm. Everything is frequency. We are not just passive listeners sitting in a room. We are fundamentally made of music. Our cells, our thoughts, our very emotions are just biological patterns constantly seeking harmony with the environment around us. The reason you absolutely love your favorite song is the result of millions of years of evolution, driven by a desperate, beautiful need for connection. So I'm going to leave you with this final, kind of provocative thought to chew on. When you feel that totally unexplainable wave of emotion hit you during a beautiful piece of music, are we literally just biological machines responding to Hertz frequencies to get a quick dopamine hit? Or is there something truly transcendent in our ability to find such deep meaning in sound? Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer. I really hope these visuals helped illuminate the invisible magic of music for you. I would absolutely love to hear your own musical stories, so please share the songs that move your soul down in the comments. Keep learning, keep exploring, and I'll see you next time.